Welcome to my channel, Sacred Intuition, and welcome to today's Sunday Ancestor message. And it's September 10th, and it is actually crazy because for the past week, I literally uploaded the messages like on the same day as I recorded them, which I used to do, but then my schedule was always a bit different, and now I'm actually finding the time to actually do it at the day or on the day that I actually want to record the message. Anyway, I'm going to be using the Wisdom Oracle. This is from Colette Baron-Reid. She has also many other decks, so you might want to check her out. Obviously, this is in German, but the Wisdom Oracle would be the other one. And from Denise Linn, the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Because I try to show the boxes now before using them, because to list them all underneath the video, it takes a lot of work. And this is from Luna Sage Soul, the Holy Grail Tarot. And I think this is probably the deck that I feel most connected to my ancestors and spirit guides due to personal reasons, or La Santa Muerte deck. But I haven't used that in a long time, and I still don't feel like switching back to it. But let's get into it, and I'm gonna probably drop it down at a timestamp when the reading actually starts. Okay. Let's get it going. From the Wisdom Oracle. I'm actually sitting in the dark, even though you might not be able to tell because I'm using a ring light. So you might be feeling like you are more in a darker spot at this time. So let's bring some light into it, and your ancestors are by your side. So what is the message that wants to come through? There it is. Oh, building blocks. Yeah, this is interesting because it is tying in with a message that I received, I think it was yesterday, regarding that whatever you've been going through, it was building you up. Yeah, it was part of the angel message. Number 28, and 2 plus 8 is 10. And 10 is about completion and a new beginning. But more importantly, it's also the High Priestess and the Strength card. So it is, those building blocks are also what help you develop your skills. And in the end, 2 plus 8, 10 is also the Wheel of Fortune. So that is actually turning in your favor. I'm seeing also readiness, 48. 12, which is also the Hanged Man, maybe a new perspective. And number 20 is Judgment and the power of the fantasy. Okay. I feel like the building blocks have actually prepared you. And it seems like you are coming out of this darker period and you're moving into the light. And maybe the building blocks... oh, this is funny. This is a lot. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. We have stillness, we have patience, and we have wonders. Now, that I find intriguing because it is literally the stillness was required, the darkness, so that the wonders could be prepared for you. And may I point out, that's the truth. It's also the building blocks to your own truth, finding out what your truth is. This is what your ancestors want to talk about. Mm-hmm. Maybe you always felt like pushed back a little bit, like you felt kind of ready, and then you always hit like a roadblock, not massive that it disrupted your life like completely, but still. It seemed like you couldn't advance in certain aspects of your life past a certain point. So let's see. Let's talk about those building blocks The Ace of Swords, yeah, your authenticity. Those building blocks were required to actually get this clarity, to get this truth, to actually gather up the wisdom. And I feel like because it kind of came sideways, that was blocked before. Maybe certain building blocks were not accessible to you, or you might not have considered them as building blocks, and you might have put them to a side. And that is something that, yeah, kind of kept you from continue to build. And I see the Three of Swords underneath the deck and the Page of Cups. I feel like for some of you, side message, you might actually receive an apology. And that might have been a long-awaited apology because it's a message in a bottle. And that also talks about how emotions are being bottled up. Anyway, but what I'm also getting is that maybe you ignored certain building blocks because you weren't ready to see the truth of them, or you didn't have the mental clarity to actually know where to put this building block. So you put it to the side because it's kind of like a puzzle, right? You're like, okay, well, I mean, it has this color scheme, so it has to go somewhere there, but I can't find it right now. So I'm going to put it to the side. I know I'm going to use it later, but it wasn't there yet. Okay. Okay. Maybe also your heartbreak was part of the building blocks, which kind of sucks to hear if I'm completely honest, but yeah. How about the stillness? What about the stillness? No way. And this is funny because in the Seven of Cups here gives me a different vibe than all the other ones. Because for me, in this deck, the Seven of Cups is about enlightenment. And yeah, it also talks about opportunity and fantasies. While in other decks, you would always kind of associated with not being able to make a choice or having like multiple choices, which also says it on here. But it's also like confusion. And here I actually don't get confusion because I get more enlightenment because the light is shining through. And yet again, it's dark. It's a darker theme. And look, Ace of Cups and King of Pentacles. In the stillness, the opportunity is arising for you. Look, here it says miracles from God. Spiritual awakening, right? Enlightenment. Maybe it's also knowing your own self-worth with the King of Pentacles and also showing yourself self-love. And this is something that also in the stillness, realizing that you are not an option. You are the one. And if you realize that for yourself, then you will also not accept any less from anyone outside of you. But first of all, you have to choose yourself. In this stillness, you have to be comfortable with this stillness and to actually embrace the stillness once again. And to not be distracted, but actually to also maybe make a decision. And for this, you had to maybe walk through the darkness on your own, like kind of go into hermit mode. For some of you, this might have started in September, that you might have pulled back, like in general, or maybe only in certain areas of your life. Okay. How about patience? What was the patience about the Hierophant? It could very well be that you well, I mean, any kind of commitments, to be fair. It doesn't have to be romantic. But I feel like your faith really has been tested. I think your core values were being checked. In order for your ancestors, also making sure that your building blocks are of high quality. And those building blocks also kind of, well, consist of your values. That's part of your building blocks. It's about the community that you have around yourself. It's the commitments that you are making. It's about the achievements. It's about the ambitions. Your building blocks is everything. Everything that makes up your life, okay? Your foundation. And for each part of your life, you need different ingredients. And sometimes those ingredients cannot only be delivered by yourself, and then it requires maybe also patience from you for someone outside of you to be able to meet you and to give you their building block, because they're part of what you're growing. Or even if it's not anyone outside of you, then maybe it's also asking you to be patient with yourself. That not, even though you're working on yourself and you're healing, and you have maybe like a certain goal in mind, a certain dream, wish, that it doesn't have to happen right away. And even if it doesn't happen right away, yeah, because there might have been like a complete timeout, like maybe in your career progression, because you might have had a 5-year plan and all of a sudden you're figuring out, you're like, oh, wow, my 5-year plan is almost finished and I haven't reached my goal yet, for instance. Or you said, well, by the time of age XY, I'm going to be a mom, for instance. And it doesn't mean that you are late. It doesn't mean that you don't have the values right. But it's just the patience is required, because what you are trying to achieve and what is meant for you, it's not that it's not meant for you, but for it to come in, it requires certain things to be in place. Okay? Let's see. What about the wonders? What is the wonders about? Interesting. I see the Hermit and I see the Fool. As you've done the inside, right? Let's move it all the way over here so that we have more space and you can see it all fully. And as you're coming out of introspection, right? This is when you come out of this darkness and into the light. And into the light, you take this jump into this fresh start. And it's going to be into what you've always wanted. And I think this wonder might come in very suddenly with the Knight of Swords. What else do your ancestors want to talk about? Let's see. The 10 of Wands, the 5 of Wands. Maybe those building blocks were also kind of like a burden on you, because it might have taken you longer than you expected, right? And you might also felt quite conflicted in this state of stillness, because you felt like nothing was moving, you weren't progressing, maybe even you felt like you were backtracking. But that wasn't the case. That was an internal conflict that you had. But this is why you were actually being asked to get into this stillness, to actually really understand the opportunities that are ready to be prepared for you. No way that those two cards just came out. You cannot make this up. Patience. For some of you, there is a love message inside of here as well. Those, wow. And the lovers underneath the deck. Yeah. Maybe you had to be patient when it comes to like a love connection for this to come together. And this is like a high level commitment. Maybe there was heartbreak, right? Maybe you experienced pain in this connection. And maybe it took a lot of time. Maybe there was like a very long period of separation or no contact. Maybe there was just no communication, but you were technically in contact. Who knows, right? It varies. Or maybe you were completely in contact and you still had the feeling as if it stood still. Nothing was progressing. Like you were neither going backwards nor forward. And now you might have to be patient as you healed also through this Three of Swords and this apology, this realization that maybe also someone else had to have around your situation. This might have also required some patience from your side in order to align this connection once again. And I mean, it talks about partnerships and divine union. Wow. Wow, I see the Four of Cups. And this is funny. Yeah, discontent, guarded, missing out. Yeah, maybe you felt like as if you would be missing out on wonders. But you weren't. Well, yeah, look at this. Nine of Swords underneath the deck. You felt discontent. You felt like you were missing out on what you were building towards, what you actually dreamt and wished for. Yeah, look at this. Four of Wands. But there will be celebration. So I guess you had to have this introspection regarding this Four of Cups energy that you were stuck in. And maybe this Four of Cups also caused the stillness. Because sometimes in the quiet, we need the quiet, and sometimes also we need the darkness for something to grow. So that we're not being poked every single time. If it cannot be seen, it cannot be disturbed. And this is what I'm getting here. And it was part of the healing. This needed to be healed. This fear of missing out. And also that you gathered this deep knowledge as to what is meant for you. Mm-hmm. Some of you might have also been entangled with something toxic, with the devil here. But I'm also getting that this is a connection that is beyond imagination. It is beyond what most people can grasp. Let's see, what else do your ancestors want you to know at this time? Four of Pentacles, 444 might be significant. 444 is about protection. Yeah, it's about holding on to this Ten of Cups, this happy life, this emotional wisdom. That you do not no longer have to be this guarded. Right? Stop feeling like this is ending out. This Four of Pentacles and Seven of Swords energy is ending out. Whether this is your own energy or this was the energy someone approached you with. So what is happening after the world? Look, and there we see the King of Pentacles. That is funny. So either you are the King of Pentacles and you are deceiving yourself by holding back and you're stepping into your stability, or this is a person outside of you, which we had here. And this deceitful behavior, this holding back and always like holding back from you, is actually ending. And this person is now stepping into a reliable person. Yeah. Because this person is healing, and they're healing this by speaking the truth with the King of Swords. I feel like this is something that took a long time. And it might also require a bit more time because it's like a steady progress, like worry and delays, because there is Eight of Swords energy that still needs to be broken out of. But it will be cut with the King of Swords. What is coming for you now? Temperance. Beautiful. I like that. Temperance is coming for you. And this will come with a small message first. And it seems like you'll have a choice. And whether this is romantic or not, it doesn't matter. Your ancestors just want you to prepare it and to put it into context why certain things happen the way they did. And I hope this was helpful to you. And I'm sending you love and light. Until next time. And if you vibe, please hit like and subscribe. And let's grow some more. Take care. Bye-bye.